Let's create a Pi Day lesson plan for a middle school math class using AI tools from HMH. If you're an HMH Ed user, you'll find these tools right at the top of your Ed screen. If you're not using HMH Ed, you can visit hmhco.ai to log in and start using the AI tools. So I'm going to come down here and click Create a Lesson Plan. And if I was using an HMH curriculum, I could input my curriculum here, or I could leave that blank. And we are going to create this for a 6th grade math class. This is just a 1-day lesson, 40 minutes together, 20 minutes of independent practice. HMH AI tools are aligned to HMH curriculum. But if you're not using HMH curriculum, you're still going to benefit from this alignment, because not only does it understand the curriculum, but it understands the learning science behind the curriculum. And that's not just informing what it's going to give us in the output, but it's informing how the AI is interacting with the teachers with an understanding of a pedagogical scope and sequence, learning objectives, learning progression, most importantly, and so many other variables that go into curriculum design. So this is going to be for a 6th grade class. We're going to create a fun and engaging Pi Day lesson. We are studying fractions right now. Let's see what this gives me. So first, it's going to populate our lesson plan overview, give me kind of the key focus for the lesson, and then walk me through all of the elements, and then it will start populating our day 1 lesson. If we were doing a whole week of lessons, it would give me day 1, day 2, day 3, so on. But this is just 1 day. So I have my 1-day lesson plan here. It's going to draft me, again, our objectives, everything I need to know and do to prepare for this lesson. It's going to draft out the hook with instructions and then an example script and considerations for diverse learners. You'll see this for every section of the lesson as it continues to draft, giving me step-by-step instructions, example scripts that I can say or do or show my students or have them do, and then considerations for diverse learners. Here I can see it's drafting out the independent practice, a partner circle lab. You already know we're going to have Pi in the classroom on this day. Now it's drafting out my exit ticket. So my quick check for understanding. Again, with considerations for diverse learners, supports that students need, but then also you can see here extensions for students who may be finished early to give them something else to do to extend their learning. And then I love how it drafts out materials that it recommends and links to the AI tools that I could use to create those materials. So now I have my full day of lesson for. So now I love how it also drafts out, you can see here the materials are hyperlinked to other AI tools from HMH. So if I love this lesson plan and I'm ready to prep for it, I can start creating a presentation or a quiz or a STEM concept explainer that can go home with parents so that they can celebrate Pi Day at home. I'm going to make one adjustment to this lesson plan. Well, first of all, when I'm actually preparing to teach this lesson plan, which isn't going to be until next week, I'm going to come back and take this day 1 quiz. It's a student readiness quiz that will then modify the lesson plan and tailor it for the student readiness that day. So we're studying fractions this week. By the time we get to this lesson plan next week, maybe my students' comfortability or their progress may have developed a little bit more, or maybe areas that they need some more practice will be highlighted for me. So I can take all of that into consideration and turn that into a modified lesson plan. But I know for a fact I need to make a change to this lesson plan. This is always a best practice with using AI, is not just reviewing your output, but then modifying your output so that it's really tailored to the students in your classroom and their learning needs. Now, I have a class that I know is a bilingual class, and I don't know that my co-teacher is going to be here on this day. So I need to come over here to HMH Assist. This is my teaching and planning guide that sits right on the side of all my tools. And I'm going to ask it to create or include modifications for English language learners. I have a class of mostly Spanish speakers with some Arabic and Chinese speakers. So I can get really specific here with HMH Assist. We're not just creating a modification for English language learners, but I can really tailor this modification to the actual students in my class. So now I can see it's still updating my lesson plan, but it's also starting to give me, the teacher, some information here on the side. It's explaining what was changed in teacher-facing terms so that I can understand what it changed in a practical way, not just a technical way. Awesome. And then I can see this updated content and I can either revert it to the original or I can accept this new lesson plan. And I can see it's highlighted where it's made changes for me. So this version includes specific supports for English language learners, especially native speakers of Spanish, Arabic, and Chinese. So I can review this lesson plan. If I like it, I can go ahead and save it. If I don't, I can revert it. Let's go ahead and accept this. And then I'm ready to either start creating materials for my students, or I can export this to a PDF, a Word document, or I can share this session with one of my colleagues if I want them to be able to use this lesson plan or make modifications for their own classroom. And there you have it. We have our Pi Day lesson plan ready for students. This is just one example of how teachers are using AI tools from HMH. What are you creating? What tools are your favorites? Let us know in a comment below. And thanks for watching.